So now it's time to review the teacher and the school curriculum. But first, let's review the independent learning. So are you ready? Okay, ready. Alright, so question number 1. Mr. Alfred finds satisfaction and fulfillment in teaching, especially when he has depiction that the teacher is passionate about teaching because he or she are fervent his skills and expertise in choral works and conducting to students. This situation is depiction that the teacher passionate about teaching because he or she are fervent about. Letter A, adhering to a policy. B, helping students learn. C, life in school. And letter D, his or her discipline. So what do you think the answer? Alright, so the answer is letter D, his or her discipline. So why letter D and not letter B? It is because in education, discipline is not only in the classroom but also in the teacher's field of specialization or areas of expertise. That's why si Mr. Alfred nakafeel siya og satisfaction and fulfillment by sharing his discipline with his students. So number 2, what is the fitting realization out of the research finding? A majority of the responders strongly agreed that teachers help develop the moral character of the children. A, I should impose discipline in all my learning instructions. B, I should model the values to the children because values are taught. Letter C, I will ask students to research about social issues and problems. And D, syllabus should have a listing of values intended for integration. So the answer is letter B. I should model the values to children because values are taught. So moral development in students most effectively nurtured when the teacher serve as the role model. So the phrase values are taught emphasize nga ang students is makalearn sila og moral through imitation and observation sa teacher's behavior. Alright, so number 3. It is a professional development guide for Filipino teachers that consists of different dimensions of effective teaching, understanding learners, and a sound education pedagogy. Letter A, basic education curriculum. B, national competency-based teacher standards. C, Philippine secondary schools learning competencies. And letter D, understanding by design curriculum framework. So the answer is letter B, national competency-based teacher standard. So ang NCBTS kay naa dito ang mga competency nga expected sa mga teacher here in the Philippines. So naa dito ang content knowledge, pedagogy, and professional growth. So ang nganong dili may answer ang A, C, and D, it is because kansya framework or curriculum framework and dili siya competency standards for teachers development. Okay, number 4. Teachers of St. Isidore Academy are updating their syllabi because it was recommended by PAASCU during their last visit that they should revise the instructions to reflect the school's VMG. How should linkage and sharing of good practices be depicted? So letter A, appealing to the school boards to allocate separate budget for the resolution for the next PAASCU visit. B, conducting regular meetings among faculty members and school staff to address the cited recommendations. C, inviting teachers from neighboring accredited schools, colleges, and universities as resource persons. D, supervising closely the development of classroom instructions, learning resources, and students' participation. So the answer is letter C, inviting teachers from neighboring accredited schools, colleges, and universities as resource persons. Why letter C? It is because ang PAASCU is nag-encourage sila to collaborate sa mga accredited schools. So by inviting mga school accredited kay makashare magud sila mga successful methods and innovation kay ang kaning letter A, B, and C is mga internal action, while ang letter C is highlight gid siya nga sa linkage and collaboration for other school accredited or accredited schools. Number 5. After the teaching observation, Teacher B was called by his principal for a post-observation conference. His principal informed him that he needs to improve on the ability of the teacher to encourage her students to use higher order thinking skills. What PPST domain should be given importance to improve on the point cited? Letter A, Domain 1, Content, Knowledge, and Pedagogy. B, Domain 2, Learning Environment. C, Domain 3, Diversity of Learners. And letter D, Domain 4, Curriculum. So, the answer is letter D, Domain 4, Curriculum. So, diri, ang Domain 4, which is ang curriculum, is naa dito ang teacher is na ability to design and implement the lesson that promotes critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity, that kanang mga higher order thinking skills. Alright, number 6. One of the right of students is the right to make decisions in selecting alternative field of work. This is an adherence to a philosophical foundation of education. Identify the philosophical basis. A, behaviorism. B, constructivism. C, existentialism. And D, progressivism. So, very obvious naman na nasa question, make decisions, or the right to make decisions. So, the answer is letter C, existentialism. So, why existentialism? It is because when students have the right to na sila'y freedom to choose responsibility, it reflects existentialist na sila yung mga makahimos lag meaningful personal choice. Silang kagalingon. Okay, number 7. Which of the following best define philosophy? Okay, letter A, a set of values which are influential and meditative for lifelong process. B, the set of related principles that are based on observation and are used to explain additional observations. C, the study of theories, knowledge, and existing life-altering beliefs. And D, the study of theories of knowledge, truth, existence, and morality. So the answer is letter D, the study of theories of knowledge, truth, existence, and morality. So, by philosophy, by definition, is a systematic study of fundamental questions about reality, knowledge, truth, and ethics. Okay. Number 8. What model of curriculum and instruction implies that instructional decisions are arrived at after curricular decisions are made? In which modifications are implemented and evaluated in an instruction spectrum? A, concentric model. B, cyclical model. C, dualistic model. And letter D, interlocking model. So the answer is letter B, cyclical model. So cyclical model in curriculum views teaching as a continuous process in planning, implementing, evaluating, and revising. So it emphasizes nga dili siya linear but a subject to constant modification and improvement. Number 9. Separate learning competencies have been identified by the Department of Education for the elementary and secondary levels of education in the country. This is so since education is perceived to be A, idealistic for the development of intellectual and moral individuals. B, nationalistic process to prepare students for democratic citizenship. C, practical to prepare the students to conserve nature and resources. D, composed of psychological process following growth and development patterns. So the answer is letter D, composed of psychological process following growth and developmental patterns. So the DepEd or the Department of Education aligns competencies with the stages of child's growth and development. So, in teaching elementary, mo differ gid siya sa secondary. This because different naman ilahang cognitive, emotional, and psychological readiness. Okay. Number 10. Joining organizations or clubs in school is requisite to granting of academic distinction under Dex Order Number 66, Series of 1998. This shows school community connection reflected in activities geared toward society's need. What philosophy is related to this? Letter A, existentialism, B, perennialism, C, progressivism, D, social reconstructionism. So very obvious na ang answer. It is because society needs. Okay, the answer is social reconstructionism. So, ang social reconstructionism holds that education should address society's issues and problems by engaging learners activities that promotes active participation in society. Number 11, an outcome of planning phase of instruction is A, a complete set of finely tuned instructional materials, B, a computer-based learning experience that incorporates hypermedia, C, summary of the effectiveness of the set of instructional materials, D, an outline or blueprint of the learning experiences. So the answer is letter D, an outline or blueprint of the learning experiences. So, ikaw man gini mag-planning. So, muna na imuhang silbi blueprint or a guide sa imuhang lesson because ang letter A and B is implementation while ang letter C is evaluation. Okay, so ang letter D mo ay planning phase of instruction. Okay, number 12. After a learner plans and implements various strategies within a novel learning situation, the evaluation phase of learning is important for the learner because A, it illustrates teaching errors and problems, B, it indicates where technology should optimally be employed, C, it allows for a learner reflection and possible revisions, and letter D, all of the above. So what do you think the answer? So the answer is letter C. It allows for learner reflection and possible revision because ang evaluation man go dito mahibawan mo nga it reflects nga unsay wala what didn't work or what work or giunsa pag-improve because ang reflection it is essential for students' growth. So Okay, number 13. By understanding the learning process and technology, the teacher is in a better portion. A, plan and implement instruction that is more effective. B, select disciplining techniques which help students focus their attention of the instructional materials. C, select instructional materials that decrease transfer and generalization of skill instructional materials. And D, all of the above. So the answer is letter A, plan and implement instruction that is more effective. So a teacher who understands both how students learn and the role of technology can design and carry out more effective lesson. Okay, number 14. If school-based management approach were to upgrade teaching and learning, this will be necessary. A, outcome-based curriculum, B, participation by stakeholders, C, plan document, and D, vision, mission, core values. Okay, the answer is letter B, participation by stakeholders. So, ang SBM is dapat gid ang stakeholders. So, gikan sa kinatasan handa sa ubos. So, like, superintendent, then principal, teachers, parents, learners, other community kay dapat involved gid siya or mo-participate siya kay para ang gani kanang effective ang pag-improve sa education. So ang sa participation sa stakeholders is mo gid siya ang key. So without it, ang SBM becomes top down or ineffective. So very important gid ang participation sa mga stakeholders. Okay, number 15. During class level curriculum implementation, the strategies that work are classified as green. Which of the following belongs to this category? A. Content delivery based on lessons. B. Exist in chalkboard talk. C. Homogeneous students grouping. And D. Students' interest and teacher enthusiasm. Okay, the answer is letter D, student interest and teacher enthusiasm, because ang green is nag-symbolize siya of positive, effective, and sustainable practices. Right, so number 16. In Education Act of 1901, which established a free public education in the Philippines under the American regime, what language was imposed under the one-language policy? A. English, B. Filipino, C. Spanish, and D. Tagalog. So the answer is letter A. English. So English ilahang medium of instruction and para pod ma-promote ilahang American culture. Okay. Number 17. The mandate of Commission on Higher Education to provide courses in the tertiary education such as logic and philosophy to expose students in exercising their rational thinking, power, and reasoning is a philosophy referring to A. Essentialism, B. Progressivism, C. Perennialism, and D. Reconstructionism. So the answer is letter C. Perennialism. Why perennialism? Ang perennialism is dili lang siya nag-focus sa great books but also nag-focus siya sa develop sa intellectual and reasoning skills sa students. Okay, number 18. What do Wiggins and McTighe cite as proof of students' understanding of the principles of learning? A. Applying to solve problems. B. Memory retention. C. Repeating teacher's input. And D. Setting given examples. So, diri is usara jud ang positive. So, letter A. Applying to solve problems. Okay, so in UBD is kuan man dito demonstrate when learners can apply knowledge in new context and solve problems. Kay ang letter B, C, and D is ang letter B and C is kuan siya memorization and repetition. So, letter A ang answer. 19. What is the philosophy behind Philippine schools that seek to promote democratic opportunities for all and humanistic education through lifelong learning? A. Classical education, B. Perennialism, C. Progressivism, and D. Positivism. So, through lifelong learning, sana nasa question, very progressivism. Democratic participation, lifelong learning or lifelong education, and student-centered learning. Okay, number 20. The K-12 curriculum includes programs for the gifted and talented, programs for learners with disabilities, madrasa curriculum, and indigenous peoples education program. What does this prove of the K-12 curriculum? A. Constructivist, B. Inclusive, C. Millennial, D. Subject matter centered. So the answer is letter B. Inclusive. So the K-12 curriculum design nga cater siya og mga diverse needs sa learners, whether kanang naka-disabilities, kanang gifted ka, talented ka, or indigenous people ka, cater na ginatanan ang curriculum sa Philippines.